Laser sights increase confidence regardless of experience level, whether you're learning the fundamentals or overcoming aging eyes. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
The number one national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. Gun Talk, available on iTunes and on the free GunDealio smartphone app for Android and iPhone. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
Hey, that's a reminder. Be sure to check your GunDealio this week. There are a bunch of crazy deals out there right now from manufacturers. Extra mags, rebates, all kind of stuff people are throwing in to get you to buy their guns. It's just kind of Looney Tunes right now. I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, I really have not. It's all on the GunDealio app. It's on your smartphone, or at least it should be. It's free. If it's not there, go ahead and get it. Called GunDealio, and we have people who do nothing but just look for those deals and those special things, and they stick them on there. So check that out. You have heard me talk for a long time about going to really good gunfighting schools. Yeah, people call them shooting schools. They are, but they're gunfighting schools. It's not really about shooting. It's about fighting. Gunsite, of course, being kind of the grandfather of them all, I think. It's been called the Harvard of gunfighting schools. People say, yeah, it's great, but I'm not sure I can afford that. How would you like to go for free? Say what? Well, let's go talk to somebody who can make that happen for you. Gary Killingsworth joins us from Crimson Trace. Hey, Gary, how are you?
I'm great, Tom. How are you doing?
Good. So you guys are giving away, I guess, 2 slots at a Gunsite course.
That is correct. So this will be the 4th year of it, as a matter of fact, and it is a sweepstakes for a trip for 2 to take the Crimson Trace Gunsite 250 defensive pistol course.
Okay, so what is the Crimson Trace part of this? Do they do more low-light work?
Yeah, so essentially if you know of Gunsite, you know of the 250 course. So that's considered the Gunsite experience. And right. The Crimson Trace course is essentially the 250 doctrine, but it integrates the use of visible laser sights.
That's very cool. Now, this is going to be in November, and this is going to be at the Colonial Shooting Academy in Richmond, Virginia. The first time it's going to be held there.
That is correct. It's going to be in Richmond this year. And really, in talking to the folks at Gunsite, what they wanted to be able to do is be able to offer this course, something on the Eastern Seaboard, just to kind of spread it around, because the impact and the interest in the class, because it fills up. Just to be able to spread it around a little bit, and from a Crimson Trace standpoint, we're really excited to be able to, kind of be able to run this course in an indoor environment where we can manipulate lights a little bit more.
Sure, yeah, you control the lighting completely. It's an indoor facility. That's
exactly. So definitely looking forward to that.
Okay, so how do people enter for a chance to win the sweepstakes? They can get gets a winner and gets to pick a friend or somebody he or she can take.
That is correct. So go straight to the Crimson Trace website, crimsontrace.com, or our Facebook page or Twitter, Instagram. You'll be able to find all the information, but you can fill out the entry form from there. And also, the more you share it, the more entries you get.
So the more each time you share it, it's like another entry.
That's correct.
Oh, you social media devil, you.
That's right. Spread the word.
Okay, there you go. So crimsontrace.com or the Facebook page or Twitter or Instagram or all of those. Look for it. Enter. It's called the Crimson Trace Gunsite 250 Defensive Pistol Course. And this, there's a specific date on this. It's November 13 to 17.
That's correct. Okay. And the sweepstakes closes on August 10th. So there's just under a week to get in. You can enter every day.
Okay. Enter early, enter often. It's like voting in Chicago.
That's right.
This is great. So how are things at Crimson Trace? You guys just still cooking along?
We are, yeah. Things are great. What we're seeing right now is still a lot of interest in Link. So that's the wireless AR and AK, respectively, two different platforms. Mm-hmm. That Link has been hot. It won the Golden Bullseye this year for Accessory of the Year. Laser Guard Pro is still extremely hot. So the concealed carry products, our Blade Tech integrated holster packages have been huge. So yeah, things are chugging along really well.
It's interesting. You probably have as good a handle as anybody on the whole defensive market because, for the most part, your products are all defensive. And when people are saying, well, gun sales are down, and I keep hearing, well, actually, the concealed carry defensive side is still doing well. So what do you think?
That's what we're seeing too. I mean, the platforms like like the Glock 43, M&P Shield, XDS. I mean, we're reflective of what's happening in the firearm sales world, mm-hmm. Because people are accessorizing their concealed carry pistols with our products. So, I mean, we're seeing that as still a hot thing. I mean, it's still of high interest.
Well, people keep discovering lasers, and a lot of people, I mean, face it, way back I didn't want lasers. Way back Gunsite didn't want lasers. And we've all come around as we got some experience and went, oh, okay, I was actually stupid. So...
Well, we'd never say it like that.
You wouldn't say it, well, not while I was around. You'd say it when I wasn't there. I know you would, Gary.
Well,
come on.
That's different. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to encourage everybody, if you ever thought you'd want to go to Gunsite, go to the Crimson Trace website or the Facebook page or whatever, enter early, enter often. You got a chance to win it. Hey, Gary, thank you. That's a great idea, man.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tom. Have a great day.
All right, you take care. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. It's open lines right now. When we come back, we got a couple on here, but we have room for you. Question for you. What was the best deal you ever got on a used gun? And conversely, what's the one gun that you never should have let go? 866-TALK-GUN.
Double Tap Ammunition and Colt Ammunition manufactured by Double Tap using top-of-the-line components made in the USA and hand-inspected. Choose from 481 loads in 82 calibers. Defense, hunting, competition. Double Tap.
This land, once wild and free, fades now from our memory. But I remember what it was like, what we were like, what we are capable of when we band together. Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. These natural wonders are where waterfowl begin their cycle of life, where the deer and the antelope play, and where we, the people, gather together to see and share what makes the outdoors so great. The time is now to band together with organizations like Ducks Unlimited. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
For more than 70 years, Timney Triggers has been enhancing the shooter's experience. Whether it's a local competition, a day at the range, or even the hunt of a lifetime. Setting the standard in aftermarket triggers, Timney is now producing more than 170 models of triggers for bolt-action rifles, shotguns, AR rifles, and semi-automatic rifles. Proudly made in the USA since 1946. Find your new trigger at TimneyTriggers.com.
Colt National Match Ammunition, manufactured by Double Tap, is specially developed for performance and accuracy. Real match ammo, designed with competition power factors in mind. Colt National Match Ammunition by Double Tap Ammo. Available in stores now.
All right, 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Two questions. What's the best deal you ever got on a gun? Generally used guns. Also, is there a gun that you wish you had never gotten rid of? Man, I got mine. It's Oh, somebody writes in and says, from George, says, Tom, that gentleman that was looking for a 16-gauge 37 can pick up a Browning BPS bottom eject for 16-gauge. They'd run about $630 at Gunbroker. Good point. The Browning BPS is not exactly a 37, but it is definitely, it has some lineage, some heritage, some ancestry there. And I always like the Browning BPS also. I just like the way they feel. Pretty slick little guns. Ted wants to talk about Model 37. He's on line 1 out of California. Hey, Ted, talk to me.
By God, my Model 37, I bought that, I think it was in 61. I'm 77 years old. And that has been the finest field gun I've ever owned. I've got a lot of shotguns. I'm a shotgun collector, especially the side-by-side doubles, like Ansley H. Foxes, and stuff like Greeners, Parkers.
Wow.
But that doggone Ithaca is just handled so good. A pheasant goes up and you just don't miss him. It just is so smooth handling. It was called a Sweet 16 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've shot ducks over decoys with it, with number 5 shot. It patterned real good with number 5 shot, and over decoys is real good with it that way, you know.
That's terrific.
And the gun that I got rid of that I never wish that I got rid of was a Savage 250 3000 lever action takedown.
Oh, a Model 99?
Yep.
Oh, man, yeah, no, yeah, you let that one go. A takedown Model 99 and 250 Savage, 250 3000. Amazing, yeah. I know you wish you had that one back, but sounds like you got a few of them there. And but, yeah, I'm with you. I think the 37 is slick, and really well made. Thank you, Ted. I appreciate the call. Let's go talk to Ivan. He's on line 3. He's in San Antonio, Texas. Hey, Ivan, what'd you do here?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call. This past week, my family and I, we took a vacation to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And I know several years ago, their legislation, they were going through about whether or not to ban standard capacity magazines and whatnot. Right. So what I did is I have an XDS 4.0, and I have over 1,000 rounds through it. So it's broken in, and so instead of risking anything, I took that gun with all the magazines, so that way I know that, number one, I'll never go over 10 rounds, and number two, I have more than enough magazines. And thankfully nothing happened, but it was just one of those things that I haven't shot that gun in a while, and I was like, man, should I sell it, should I not? But it served the purpose.
It's a good thing you had it.
For that particular state.
And I like the XDS. I think that's a really nice carry gun.
Yes, and a quick range report. I bought a Kimber 1911 in 9mm. Now, that's my third 1911 in 9mm, and I have about 7 more to go. But I like that pistol. It's a good pistol, and now one of the prime guns that I want to get in 9mm is the new Colt Gold Cup Trophy in 9mm that just came out at SHOT Show this year.
Right.
That one is just like I'm already saving like $30 a week so I can afford it next year, because it's one of those things like, But hey, and one of those new shooters, I guess you can shoot. You can say Generation 2.0. I like 1911s and 9mm. I like Glocks. But it's just one of the things you appreciate, craftsmanship and just the history of that.
Once you start shooting, that's the deal. Once you start shooting a nice 1911, you go, man, that's just a whole different level of shooting. Hey, I appreciate the range report. Now that's a good guy. He says, all right, this is my third 1911 in 9mm. I only have 7 more to go. So he's going for 10 1911s in 9mm. That's how sweet they are. Hey, Mike's in Tulsa. He's on 2. Hey, Mike, where are you going?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Well, in October, I'm taking vacation. I'm going to be driving cross-country to Utah, southwest corner of Utah, to see my brother. Okay. And it so happens my other brother that we just found out about having back in January that we never knew is coming down from Oregon, and we go do some shooting.
Okay.
And I want to know how I should secure my guns for the trip. I went on the NRA, ILA website, and they said basically to secure them in the trunk, in a locked compartment, ammo and guns separately. But is there any other thing I should really get to know?
No, that's it. I mean, I assume you do not have a carry permit. Is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay. If you don't have a carry permit, then in some states, you are legal to have a loaded handgun in the car with you. And then in some states, you are not. And it's your responsibility to know which is which. So as you cross state lines, the laws are going to change. If you had your carry permit, you would probably be good in all the states you're talking about driving across. The absolute, if you want to go by letter of the law, safe way to do this is to keep your guns unloaded and locked in cases, ammo separate, and you're good to just drive around. Even though it is legal on the federal side, you're not going in that direction, but I still wouldn't go into New Jersey, Massachusetts, or New York because they ignore federal law and they throw people in jail, even if you're obeying the law. So, but for where you're going, you'll be okay that way. I would encourage you, if it is an option for you, to get a carry permit, and that way you can have reciprocity as you cross state lines. But have a good trip, Mike. I appreciate the call, sir. You take care. Tom's in Omaha. He's on 4. Tom, used guns. What are you thinking?
Well, the guns at the pawn shops and are good shape. I guess you could look at them and you get good deals on them. Secondly, gun dealers, will they negotiate prices? Because sometimes I've seen guns sell for really cheap prices on the internet, and then you go to a gun dealer, and major gun dealer, and they won't negotiate a price whatsoever on them.
Well, the thing is, gun stores are just like people. They're different. Chances are, if you're just talking to a guy behind the counter, he does not have the ability. It's not his money to do a deal. If you're talking to the owner, you may be able to strike a deal. Say, look, could you go, 400 on that? If he's asking 450 and find something there, you'll have a lot better ability to negotiate with individuals. I think they're a little bit more motivated to sell sometimes, whereas a dealer may say, well, I'll just wait for the next guy to come in. But there's no rule on it. There's no standard. If you go into a gun store, first of all, make sure you're talking to somebody who can say yes, because what you may find, I had a friend, lovely lady, she was talking to a guy at a hotel one time and trying to get a room there, and they said they didn't have any rooms, and she knew that they probably did. And finally she said, look, can you tell me yes? He said, well, actually, no. She said, well, you know what? If you can't tell me yes, then I will not accept no from you. Who do I need to talk to? Who can tell me yes? So you need to be talking to the person who can say yes, basically the person who really controls the money, as opposed to somebody who just works there and may not have the ability to negotiate. But having said all that, understand that sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. And if they don't and you can't do the deal, just keep on looking and keep moving and maybe hit a gun show or, The other thing is check shooting ranges. Sometimes people put little stickers up or cards up and they're wanting to sell stuff. You never know. But poke around and also ask your friends. Start asking out. Say, look, get the word out. Say, does anybody know of anybody that wants to sell a handgun or a 9mm or something? And they say, oh, yeah, I know John over there at the body shop. He said he was thinking about selling one. And all of a sudden, a deal pops up. The more you spread the word, the better the chances are you're going to get the deal. So I wish you luck with it. I hope that works out for you. Hey, Michael's in Oregon also. He's on one. Hey, Michael, talk to me about a deal.
Mr. Griffin, boy, I think I got a really good deal. Smith & Wesson, 9mm, and I bought a 36.2, and I got it for $100.
How'd you do that?
Well, it was a co-worker, and he was a Vietnam vet, and for his second tour, he was a tunnel rat, so he bought that.
Huh.
And when the Glocks were first coming out, he really wanted the Glock, and his wife told him, well, you have to sell the other gun before you can buy another one. So he sold it to me for $100.
There have been many a deal made on the basis of, well, honey, you can get that one, but you got to get rid of one before you bring in a different one.
Yeah, well, it can work out good on the other side, too, so.
So how long have you had that pistol?
I think it was 86 or 87 I bought that.
Do you shoot it? Do you shoot it anymore?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when I live on a ranch that's 375 acres.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. All right, I see a note here, something about a Smith & Wesson bodyguard.
Yeah, I picked it up. I hear your producer, Jim, picked one up. I kind of regret not getting the laser for it, though.
Well, you can add a laser to it.
Yeah, I can, yeah. But at the time, I was thinking, well, if I can't hit anything 40 feet away with that, I shouldn't even own the gun.
Well, and I understand that, and I can appreciate the sentiment. At the same time, there are just some really interesting areas where a laser can help. And I think it surprised. Do you have a laser on anything at this point?
No, I do not.
Okay. I think you will be surprised at the utility of the laser and what you can get out of it, both for practice. Dry fire practice is really cool because you can see if the sights are disturbed if you're yanking the trigger. And then also what you do. I would encourage you to consider getting a laser and putting it on that little gun. Little guns really, really benefit from lasers, I think.
Yeah, I tell you what, and Tom, what I really like about the 380 over the 9mm is that even though it's almost the same bullet, but I don't even know I have the darn thing on me.
Ah, yes. Exactly.
I forget about it. I walked in the bank going, oh, I got to put the gun back in the car. Because I just forgot I had the gun on.
Well, now, is it illegal in Oregon to carry a handgun into a bank?
No, it's not. And actually, the bank I go to, Umpqua Bank, they encourage their customers to wear firearms.
I like that bank.
I thought that was kind of
so
weird.
So why are you why do you go back to the car and take your gun off if you're going to the bank?
No, that was a different bank, and okay. They did have a sign on there, no firearms.
Yeah, that was your old bank. You're not using them anymore, I hope.
No.
All right. Sounds good. Well, look, I appreciate the range report on both of those. Yeah, a bank that put up signs that said no guns would not be my bank, and I would make sure that the manager knew why I was closing my account. That's just silly. We have choices. And if you have a choice of going to a place that has a sign up, a no gun sign, versus a place that doesn't, I would encourage you to be polite, but ask for the manager and say, look, I just need to let you know why I'm not going to be doing business here. No big deal. I'm not mad at you, but I don't feel that I can do business here. I don't appreciate what you're saying. And frankly, I think it makes it a more dangerous environment. I think by putting up that sign, you invite violent criminals because they know that no one here can stop them. So we'll be letting you know where to, we'll close out our accounts and we get another account open somewhere else. I've done it to restaurants. I've done it to various places. And interestingly enough, sometimes the manager says, you're right, that's just a company policy from on high. We don't have to do that. And actually had them go take down the sign. You never know until you speak to them, but be polite, be nice, but have your message and figure it out. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. Best or worst gun deal you ever made?
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you here. I get an email from Blaine, NRA benefactor, life member, he says. Cedar City, Utah. Hey, I've been to Cedar City. It says, for your next Gun Talk signature pistol, I suggest you consider a two-tone commander size Ruger 1911 in 10 millimeter with Coco Bolo grips. I'm ready to send in my money. Well, me too, Blaine. 10 millimeter commander size. I love the idea. Weirdly enough, we've actually been talking about something similar to that. How many people carry a 10 as a carry gun? Not a lot. Very, very few. I would bet it'd be 2% or less of the carry guns are 10 millimeter. Probably less than 1%. It's kind of a shame because it's a really good caliber. I really like it a lot. And I'm torn when I go out west when I'm walking around bear country. 357, 44, 41, 10 millimeter. What are you going to carry? Can't carry them all. My pants won't stay up. Have to get some suspenders. Maybe it's why I'm schizophrenic about that. I've always carried a different gun. Who knows? Do as I say, not as I do. Don't do that. You should stick with one and learn to use it. But I'm all over the place. Tony's called in from Phoenix on 3. Hey, Tony, talk to me about NRA Carry Guard and insurance for concealed carry.
Yeah, how you doing, Tom? I listen to your show every week. I've heard you make comments about NRA Carry Guard before, especially with the competition aspect of it. But I got to tell you, I looked into it, Mm-hmm. I actually talked to them when they were in Atlanta for the NRA show. I was there, and I went by their booth. I don't really see a downside in the program itself. I'm seriously considering signing up for it. I think, if nothing else, it definitely gives you peace of mind if you're carrying. But I really don't see. I mean, I don't. As far as the competition goes, I'm a capitalist. I think competition is good. It forces companies to come out with better products. So I don't have a problem with that aspect of it. But I just don't see what the real downside is in any other respect. The cost is fairly reasonable. And I'm seriously considering signing up.
What would be the?
I think it's a really good program.
I think they have different levels. What level would you be signing up at?
I'm going to start out with the bronze level, which I guess is kind of the entry level.
What's that cost?
Oh God, you know what? I can't. I've got the paperwork in my office. I can't recall offhand.
$100, $150, something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah, the program itself may be okay. From people who have looked at it, they've told me it doesn't start until later. It doesn't start up front. They reimburse you later, but you got to have to fund it yourself on your defense. The other thing, and frankly, just one of the things that just sticks in my craw is just the way they went about it. It was a real chicken stuff approach, the way they treated USCCA, where USCCA had a booth at the NRA annual meetings and had planned to be there and all that. And of course, the NRA had been working on this thing for months and months and months. And then 2 weeks before the NRA show, they send a letter to USCCA and say, oh, yeah, by the way, we're not going to let you exhibit here because basically we're going to have our own competition or competitive product. They knew that months ago. They could have told them. These people already had their airline tickets purchased. They had their hotel rooms purchased. They'd made all their plans. They had built the booth and all the rest of that stuff. That was just wrong. You don't treat your customers that way. And in this case, this company was a customer of the NRA in spending money at the booth. You don't treat your members that way.
Yeah.
It was just all done wrong. And that just left a real sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, obviously you're privy to a lot more insider information than just a regular member like myself is. So if that's true, and I have no reason to doubt that it's not, I agree with you. I think the way that was handled was just not right. I mean, everybody talks about gun owners being one big happy family. Well, we are until money is concerned.
True enough. And the other thing is, I mean, this training program that they're doing in association with the Carry Guard, I just think it's a stunningly bad idea. I mean, basically, it's like saying the NRA is going to start making guns now, and we're going to compete with people in the gun industry. We're going to start doing training, and we're going to knock a bunch of trainers out of business because we're the NRA and we can do it. We have the muscle. It's just wrong. It's wrong-headed. It's saying we're going to make money even though it means we're going to destroy the businesses of some of our members.
I don't see it that way, to be honest with you, Tom. I mean, I've been to Gunsite.
Well, the NRA. Here's the thing. The NRA is not. Here's the thing. The NRA is not a company. The NRA is our membership organization, and our membership organization should not be putting us out of business.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I haven't made a decision either way. You kind of, having listened to your radio broadcast before when you were talking about it, it got me curious. So I did my own research and kind of looked into it and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, do a little bit more research and look into USCCA and NRA and what happened there. It was widely publicized when it happened. Don't take my word for it. Go find out for yourself. And then, make your own. And look, if you decide to get it, that's fine. At least you got some coverage. It's just, I just think that there's something wrong here with their approach of we have to generate yet more money, and in the process, we don't mind running over members and companies that support us. And that's how it hits me. Okay?
Yeah, well, if that's, if that's the case, I get stuff from NRA all the time. I don't sign up for their wine club. I get it. It's just a way to generate revenue, but if I don't want it, I don't sign up for it. It's very simple, Sure. I get it. If they need to generate revenue, then I get it. But But yeah, I just, when it comes to training and stuff like that, I take that very seriously. There's no such thing as too much training. I think it's just a question of different types of training.
Well, I get all that, but the question is, do you want to have trainers around, or do you want to have, they have enough weight to put people out of business. And that's what I'm saying. Look, I got to run to the break. I appreciate your call. I'm glad you, and look, nobody misunderstands me. I fully support the NRA. I am, patron, benefactor, some level. I don't know where it is. Member here. But at the same time, you have to be allowed to say things where you say, okay, I think you guys went about this in a bad way. I'm not sure this is a real smart move. And honestly, I think if you went inside the halls there, you'd find other people who are saying, yeah, we probably could have done that better. Yeah, I think so. 866-TALK-GUN, open lines. We'll talk about pretty much anything that has to go with bang. Give me a holler.
There's a reason why police officers trust Spear Gold Dot ammunition over the competition. The same reason you should too. The ultimate expansion and FBI-tested reliability have proven time and again to protect America's finest. Spear Gold Dot is the #1 trusted ammo for police protection. And while it's standard issue for the men and women in blue, it's now available for personal protection. Spear Gold Dot, the gold standard of professional conceal and carry ammunition.
The Ruger pistol that started it all is now even better. The Ruger Mark IV has the same great look as the Mark III, but now its simple one-button takedown means less time taking apart your gun and more time shooting it. Disassemble it in seconds for no hassle cleaning. Learn more about the Target, Hunter, and 2245 Light Mark IV series models at Ruger.com. The Ruger Mark IV, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at ShopGunTalk.com. Get prepared. ShopGunTalk.com.
Hardcore tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. For decades, Surefire has built the first and finest professional-grade flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors. We build the best because lives depend on it, and we know failure is not an option. We design, engineer, and manufacture Surefire products right here in the U.S. For you, for your loved ones, Surefire. American built, American strong. Surefire.com.
All right, let's talk to John. He's in Sheridan, Wyoming on 2. Hey, John, I love it out in Sheridan, man. I have hunted out there, visited my friends out there. So what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Tom. Thank you. Truly a pleasure. I'll try to make it short and sweet. I'd like to thank you and your staff for inspiring me to get involved. I've voted since the age of 18, but I've never really called my senators or representatives on matters that I'm concerned about or passionate about until recently. And it's basically based on your program. And the way I also approach the way I talk to people is different. And I just think it's important that those of us who care about gun rights are not just voting, but being involved with taking new shooters to the range and being polite in the way we converse with people who disagree with us. And I want to thank you for that. And I would like to know if there's a way I can encourage my local radio station to carry your broadcast.
Sure. Let's go over Radio 101. This is inside baseball, but I'm okay. I mean, because I know a lot of people say, hey, I'd love to have, Gun Talk on locally. And I gather that you're a podcast listener. So.
I am. I started listening to you about a month ago, and I've been binge listening ever since. So.
Okay. With Gun Talk, it's real simple, and I know there are people who would like to get their show on their local station. Here's how it works. Station gets the show for free. It's called a barter system. It's a standard radio industry deal. They get the show for free. I don't pay them. They don't pay me. It's all just good. And the key here And let's get real. The key is the station's going to say, why would I want to do that? Well, they have to be able to make money out. So they have to have a local advertiser. So if there is a local advertiser, car dealership, truck dealership, hunting store, a gun store, anything, doesn't matter, who says, hey, we'd sponsor that, probably there's a good chance you're going to get a gun talk locally. That's just, that's good old capitalism. That's how it works. And it really is no more involved than that. And we've got the information on our website, guntalk.com, of anybody that's interested in picking up the show. So we got 240 stations and would love to add Sheridan. So there you go. Now you have your marching orders.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you very much for taking my call, Tom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Harry is on 4 out of Coos Bay, Oregon, looking for a part here, I think. Hey, Harry.
Hi, Tom. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I was looking for a range report on a SIG, a P227 double stack 45, and also I was wondering if anybody makes aftermarket magazines for those things.
I don't know about aftermarket. I'm looking on the SIG website, and they do have the magazines there. They've got the 10 round, and they have the 14 round, I believe it is. Yeah.
Right.
But I get your point. They're pricey, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they're about $45 a piece, just for the 10 rounders.
Yep, they are. Honestly, I don't know, but there may be somebody doing aftermarkets at this point. I would just have to spend a lot of time looking. I don't know. As far as a range report, I'm trying to remember if I've shot this pistol. I think I have, but this is going to sound really weird. They tend to blur for me because I have never, ever shot a bad SIG. It's like, there's nothing that stands out because you just go, when you pick up a SIG, it's just going to be a really nice pistol. It's going to work. It's going to feel good in your hands. It's going to feel like a solid, chunk of pistol to go, yeah, this is nice. And so as weird as that sounds, it's like I've shot so many of them. I'm sure I've shot one, but it doesn't stand out simply because they're all so darn good. Right, and the reason why I asked for an aftermarket, Tom, I have a SIG 226, and I know Mechgar makes aftermarkets for those, and those are great magazines. I just couldn't find anything on the internet for the 227. You might check directly with Mechgar and see if they can do anything. All right, hey, thank you. Thanks for the idea, Tom. All right, appreciate that. Yeah, good stuff out there. Appreciate the call. Yeah, there are just some companies where you go, yeah, it's going to be good. And sometimes they're a little more expensive. And yeah, they are. It's the weirdest thing. And we've had the conversation here before. And, you've heard me go through this before. But the logic still applies. And the math is still the math. And a gun lasts forever. The good news is good guns last forever. The bad news is bad guns tend to last forever too. So you're going, oh, I'm so sorry I bought this gun. It won't break. I mean, most guns just work, and that's fine. I mean, that's good. Somebody was asking me about the High Point. I go, yeah, High Point's great. Come on, for $200, rock and roll. You got your self-defense gun. If you want something that shoots sweeter and better and all that, okay, spend a little more money and get something else. But they all kind of work, okay? And I guess where I'm going with that is if you want a nice gun and you plan to have it for a long time, most of us tend to keep our guns for a very long time. If you amortize the cost over the next 20 years, the difference between pick two numbers, a $300 gun and a $600 gun, is not much. I understand it's $300 and you got to come up with that now. Maybe like we were talking earlier, put it on layaway, pay for it now, pay for it on time, save up your money, skip lunches for 6 months, and you got the deal. So I don't know. Looking for your comments. The best and worst deal you have ever made on guns. Have you gotten a really good deal on something? And is there a gun that got away from you that you wish you could get back? 866-TALK-GUN. right, if you are listening on the radio station now, good on you. By the way, do me a favor. Call the station or contact them. Go to their website. Just say, hey, thanks for running Gun Talk. We appreciate it. There's a decent chance there's somebody out there who is offended. You know what I say about being offended, don't you? It's choice. And it's also immaterial. But there's somebody who's offended who's contacted them saying, I don't like that gun show. So we got to speak up now and then. Just say thanks, you know. Just a quick note. Say, hey, thanks for running Gun Talk. But the other thing is, if you're listening on a radio station, you are not getting the after show. We do an extra little part of the show after we go off the air. And you can hear that only through the podcast. And you can do that through iTunes and the different ways of listening to podcasts. But also, easiest way maybe, doing it through your GunDealio app. If you already have that on your phone, you may not be aware you can actually listen to the show. Or if there are parts of it that you couldn't catch, or you're going in and out of a car or whatever, you don't catch the whole thing, you can go back and listen to the show. We have the whole thing archived on the podcast, so use your GunDealio to do that. Exactly. Oh, and speaking of after show, that's coming up here in just a few minutes. And if you'd like to be a part of that, call me right now, and we can get you into that. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll do that. Bill called in from Henderson, Nevada. He's on one. Hey, Bill, best deal. What'd you get?
Oh, I picked up a Cold Combat Commander Super 38.
Whoa. Okay. What'd you have to give for it?
A friend of mine, he tried shooting it, and he didn't like how it felt, so he handed it over to me. I put in a fresh clip, fired off 9 rounds with a nice tight group. I said, what do you want for it? He said he traded an iPad for it. I said, well, I don't want to go that high. And he said, well, I'll take a 12-gauge for it. So I bought him a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun for $180.
You are a robber, man. You're a highway robber.
That's what I thought.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you. You can make a little bit more money. I'll give you $200 straight out right now. I don't think so. Not a chance. That's a heck of a deal, man. And that is the 38 Super is kind of underappreciated. It still is, don't you think?
Yeah, it is such a great gun. I mean, I really enjoy shooting it every time I take it out.
That's great. Well, that's a great story. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Billy, Fort Worth, line 3, traveling with your gun. What do you do?
Well, my question is, my son, I'm trying to do some youth training with my son, and I kind of want to get your advice on that. He's almost 2 years old, and he's got a blue gun now. It's a little Ruger LC9 blue gun, and we're working on muzzle awareness and trigger discipline and that kind of thing. Just kind of wondering where it should go from there.
What's the plan? I mean, I'm just going to tell you right up front, I think 2 is very young for that. We are so far not developed, developmentally. We're just not there on a lot of stuff. I get where you're going with this. Do you want him to start shooting? At what point do you plan to have him shooting?
Well, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. A good age to get started. Like right now, we're just kind of working on don't point it at anybody.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
All right.
We have guns in the house.
Let me give you a couple of thoughts because we're almost out of time. A couple of thoughts. One, think about getting a laser for that so he can see where it's pointed. But the only thing is he can't have access to this gun when you're not around, period. The other is I'm just going to pull a number out of the air, and I'm going to say 5. Just say 5 years old for starting to shoot 4 to 5 air guns starting off with, and then you can move to 22s a little bit later on, but certainly you can do air guns at 4 or 5. Again, totally supervised, eye protection all the time, and don't let them have access to the guns otherwise. All right, everybody go out and have yourself a really good week. It is Shooting Sports Month, so take somebody to the range and have some fun. Spread the love.